A very good morning, evening, afternoon, and good night, wherever you may be on this wild, wacky, and universal planet of ours. A little bit different today. I'm not looking at my own collections that I'm sort of building. I'm just going through the stuff that I've yet to have a look at that I own, including this here, and also this. I haven't opened this for a number of weeks, maybe months even. So I wanted to just really remind myself about what I've got, and of course what I haven't got. And we'll start by having a look at the Ace Universal Stamp album. So what I've got, what I haven't got in here. And this is an Ace production. Yes, and it was owned by someone called Marion from Harpenden and Hearts. And somehow it's come into my possession. I can't quite remember how. There's lots of empty pages. And I'm tempted to maybe add, particularly Argentinian. I've got a lot of Argentinian stamps in those boxes. Maybe start to load them up. But then maybe, you know, when you go down a mine or you go into the desert, you take pictures, you don't take stuff. So it would be diluting her own collection in some way, I think, if I was to add to it. That's interesting, isn't it? Batum, Russia. Never heard of that before. So we just have a look at Australia here. She seems to have done a lot of work here, and she's loaded them up in no particular order. A girl after my own heart. Ooh, nice kangaroo one there. These are hinged. Queen Victoria, Queensland. I do have that one. I think she may have. Yeah, they're all hinged. The crocodile, I've got that. Australia, the Olympics. And there are Lucy's here. By that I mean loose ones. That have not been hidden. That has stuck in somehow. Well, it's unstuck now. So maybe the gum is a little bit loose. And here we have a Norwegian, possibly with an aura. I'm going to have to keep this. Ooh. Do I leave it in here? This is the question. It's Norway. It doesn't belong here. It is my possession, so it will go in the Norway category. Sorry, Marion. So that's Australia. There's some good work in there. We turn over, we've got Belgium, and we've got the King Badwin, who is probably the most photographed. His photograph appears on more stamps of Belgium than any other person, I would suggest. That's him again from the side. So yeah, the Belgian occupation of Germany. Who'd have thought that? Here we have 50 Cent. Actually, the King of Brunei. I feel some stamps. Ahoy, Canada. Very common stamps, these. Ceylon. I do have a number of Ceylon in the box. Should I be loading them up here? I'm not 100% certain that I should, you know. China. These are loose. No, they're not stuck together. China. Mao. You can't beat a nice Mao stamp. She's put them in pretty close, so she was intending to really pile them up. Colombia here. Incorporating Antioquia, Bolivar, Boyaca, Cundinamarca, Santander, Tolima. I pronounced Santander correctly because there's a bank in Britain called the Santander. It's Spanish, obviously. So here we've got Czechoslovakia, which I've got a lot of these stamps. So if not, I don't think I've got that one. I've not got that one. I've not got that or that. But they will remain there. I would suggest Denmark. She's found out what I found out. They're all tiny and square and neat, and she's really put them in nice and tight. They also deal in Aura, but this I would suggest is Norway because of the cancel there, NOR. Norge, maybe. So I'm going to stick with that for now. Actually, I don't think I've got that stamp. Which is interesting. Next we've got Eire, the Republic of Ireland. And down here, Egypt. Suomi, just the one jib. She's got 2 jibs here. I haven't. How about that? Oh, the temptation is strong. France, the Mariannes, very common. Ooh, have I got that? Those 2, I don't know. Certainly haven't got that. Don't think I've got that. Morocco doesn't belong there. Yeah. Oh, look at that Nantes and Nice. How nice. I don't know if I do collect those coat of arms, so I may have to for that French community and former colonies. It also has Antarctic territories, and we've got a number of pages: Upper Volta, Wallis and Fortuna, Vietnam, Miquelon, Chad, Togo, Tunisia, all French. Australia, what is this doing here? I'm not sure. It's stuck, so it will be removed for its own safety. Then we have Germany. So East Germany here. Berlin State, when that was a territory of its own. Bundespost. So a mixture of East and West. These are earlier. Yeah. Ooh. Royaume-Uni, Great Britain, Gross Britannia. Has she got anything of any excitement in here? I'd say no, but that's quite nice. I don't recognise that colour. Edgeware. Common Wildings. George's less. Well, it's a mess. It's a holy mess, that, but it is. They're not as say that is not as common as that. No, there's nothing of any of value in that. Here we have Herb Islands, or Herb Island stamps, I should say. That's interesting. Hong Kong. I'm running out of time on it. I need to. Holland's pretty commons there. Someone's been having it away with the Hungary ones. I'm not sure I've got that. Are we back in Hungary again? I think we are, you know. India, Italy. You know, all these Europeans, I do have a lot of them. I've got that one. These are the war stamps. I'm not sure I've got those. Those are nice little collections she's got there of the war ones. I'm not saying they're rares, but they're more difficult to get hold of. Kenya, Uganda, Japan. Someone's had it away with the Occupation Isles, which is unfortunate because they would have been nice. Yugoslavia, always nice. Nice star there. That's why we got Red Star Belgrade. There's a football team, they love a star over there, Mauritius. Yeah, so you get the idea. But before I run out of time, I want to have a look at these. Just see what's in this bag. If there's anything nice in here. DDR. Are they all DDRs? Latter day DDR. So coming to the end of the DDR. Less about the politics, more about flowers. A gentler, if you will, DDR. That's nice. 76 Olympiad. That's more like it. Modern artish though. I mean, there's a lot of modern art in the DDR stamps. That's, you know, there's a stamp about a scanner. Why not? Warum nicht? Here we have a clock. Here we have a painting of a character. Now this you would say would be more like it. You know, freedom and break the chains, solidarity. Also people with beards. The longer the beard, the lefter they generally are. 1971, that's quite nice. Lady. 1774, some sort of armada. Of course, the DDR did, you know, were proud of being German. They thought they were the true, you know, way of living as a German, as did the Bundes people, the Westerners. They did. Now, of course, they all lived together. DDR. What is that? I don't know. A lady. So there's a lot. That's nice. Vietnam. So possibly showing support for the Vietnamese. Also cancelled in Berlin. Ooh. Don't know what that is. Hoping upon hope that there may be a space stamp, but I don't think that the only flight things are birds. Look at that, Blaumeister. Yeah. Oh, one of these. No, the Deutschland had the big old series of lighthouses. This is a smaller version. And finally, why does there has to be a finally moment? What has a rhinoceros to do with Germany, with East Germany? I don't know. It's strange, isn't it, what decisions are made to put on stamps. I mean, you can sort of understand that. This one here, yeah, I mean, look, someone who you keep you in check. But a rhino, unless there was something going on in the zoo. I think maybe there is, you know, Tierpark Berlin. So maybe they imported a rhino for the population to enjoy. Anyway, we've had some enjoyment with stamps today. We've had a little look at this album. A little bit of work to do for me. This will be returned to the Australia section here, and the Norway will be retrieved by me. It will be the only one that I've stolen. I may just load it back into the Norway page. I don't know. Anyway, we'll call it that for now. We've had some East Germany and we've had some World, Universal even, stamps. Talk soon, stay safe, keep posting, never give up, keep believing, and I'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye for now.